Hi, my name's Daniel Prokopovich, and I am going to show you how to make a net. I've got excellent string. It's going to be a lot easier for me than for you. The biggest problem that you're going to have is managing all of that string, and so you'll have to find a good way to hold all the string. On this rope, something as simple as this can work, but you'll have to find a better way than this to hold all that rope, because it's going to be a problem holding all of that rope. So this allows me to pay out line as I need it. All right. First thing we're going to need is two loops. And so it doesn't matter how you make these two loops. This is one way of making the two loops. I'm just going to take this and tie it into a knot. Okay. I got two loops. Not real pretty, but it'll work. This is one leg of the net. This is the other leg. This is the corner, and it's going to grow out in a triangle until it's half as big as we want it. And then we're going to start making the net smaller, smaller, smaller until it ends up into a square. You can make rectangular nets. There's just one thing you have to change, but square net to start is the easiest. So all right. This next move is going to be repeated endlessly until the net is made. This move has to be fluid, it has to be easy, and it has to be fast. So I don't know what's going to work on your rope, but this is what works on my rope. I twist my hand around, and I make a loop like this. And I grab this first loop, and I pull it through, so we have something like this, and I hold this, and I'm going to bring all this up through, and this is what makes the knot. We want to try to keep this length and this length equal. That's our first knot. So now I have to go through the second one. So I'm gonna grab this, and this kind of sizes it. Doesn't matter how you have this arrangement, and you can pull it through, hold it, bring this up through. That is the knot. There's no other knot than that one. All right, we want the net to get bigger, so we have to add one more loop. So I need to go through this loop again right here. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to grab this, pull it through, and do exactly as I did before. Bring this rope up through. It's the same exact knot. Now this is a little tricky here. You gotta keep this leg the same length. You have to make the knot up here. Okay. We're done with one. Now we're gonna make the second row. So everything's exactly the same. Pay out a little bit of line. And I can go like this. I can grab the first loop. I can pull this up through. And make my knot. Keep these the same. Okay, now don't let go of this, because you might end up going back through this one. So you can hold this Alright, you can hold this, and we have to go through this loop. So I grab that loop, bring it all through, and I make another knot. Ah, the ducks are out. Like I said, managing all this rope is going to be difficult. Alright, so I made a loop. Now, I need to make this net bigger, so I have to go through and make one more loop. It's the same as the other ones. This one gets a little tricky. Alright, so now you can see the net is growing. There's 3 lines here, 2 here, 3 here, and 2 here, and 3 here, and then 2 here. So it's a small net, but I'm going to finish this net. So you're going to be making a lot bigger nets, so you'll just repeat this over and over. You'll go through this one, you'll go through that one, you'll go through this one, you'll go through this one, and then you'll go through it again to make that extra loop. So when you want to make the net smaller, we do exactly the same. Everything's the same until we get to the end of the row. That's where I almost made a mistake. When you want the net to get smaller, you have to go through the last 2 loops together. You treat them the same. And this is going to make the corner of the net. So, I go through both loops. Everything's exactly the same. So the only difference is net gets bigger, you add a loop. Net gets smaller, you go through the last 2 loops. That's going through the last 2 loops is where you're going to make most of all your mistakes, because you forget to go through the last 2 loops like I almost did. Alright, so now what just happened is that this became the corner of the net. Now, if you wanted to make a rectangular net, you would add a loop to one side, take up 2 loops on the other side, and it would grow in a rectangular fashion. But it's best to put a piece of colored string around the end that you know is getting shorter, so that you can see that string and then know to take up the last 2 loops. So I'm going to continue on. My sizing isn't real good. Okay, hold this loop so that you don't go through it again. Alright, so I need to go through both loops. I'm making the net smaller, so I have to go through both. And the knot's exactly the same on every one of them. Okay. So now I need to make the net smaller, so I go through the last 2 loops. And then, if I can get it through, there we go. Alright. So what happens is, we have our net. This is the last corner. So, good luck, and send me a picture of the net, and take care. God bless.